Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Final Fantasy XIII walkthrough. We are in the 5th arc, and I believe this is the High Conflux, I believe is the specific name of this area. We've got a couple of the daemon type of enemy here. What is this? Skatane? Skatane? I don't know, something like that. And I forget the name of the other guy, but not too big of an issue. They do use this. What is that? Is it daze or is it curse? I forget the name of the status ailment there, where it basically just freezes you in your tracks, so you kind of just end up standing around for a little while, which is a little annoying, but not. I wouldn't say it's big enough of a deal to have to really do anything about it. But anyways, I think I need to we need to go here. Oh, so this spot is actually kind of interesting. You can take, there's like kind of like multiple paths. Not that it really matters. You end up in the same spot anyway, but it's just kind of interesting. Alright, anyways, let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. I guess this is kind of like the long way. I'm not really sure if that's, if it was really worth coming this way or not. Like I said, you kind of end up in the same spot anyway, so it doesn't really, I don't really feel like it matters all that much. I suppose if you just didn't want to fight as many enemies, you could kind of come this way and then maybe backtrack. Like, maybe that would pan out, but, I don't know, it didn't really seem like it mattered that much. Again, these enemies aren't really anything to worry about much. Trying to think here if there's any, like, I think there's some more missable stuff, so, specifically with enemies, so I'll try to point that out once we actually get there, but I think for the most part, as long as you're fighting, so that's the other thing. If you're trying to skip and just trying to run past a bunch of different enemies, it's possible that you won't complete your data log just because you won't have, obtained all that information that you'd need. But as long as you're really fighting kind of everything and not really going too far out of your way to skip stuff, it shouldn't be an issue. But that being said, there is one enemy type in here that you kind of have to, especially if you're kind of like overpowered. Actually, that kind of ends up being the case with a lot of this stuff, is if you end up being kind of overpowered a lot of times, specifically with the, the alchemic ooze there. And if, if you're overpowered, there's a really good chance that you're just going to obliterate the enemies too quickly. And, so it's kind of important to know that there's certain missable enemies and whatnot. So, anyways, alright, where do we got to go here? Okay, so here's the little symbol. So we just need to jump down onto this catwalk down here.
Let's get this over with.
Circuitron, yeah, we've already run into these guys. This is nothing new. Definitely take them down first, though. It's the same thing as I mentioned in one of the other videos. Actually, it's really the same with all of the bomb-type enemies. If they end up on the field, you generally want to take them down first. They're going to be able to, self-destruct, and that's pretty brutal, usually. So it's usually just a good plan to take them down quickly. But, alright, anyways. Looks like we got this taken down pretty quickly. That didn't take too long. It's a good thing with those daemons is it really feel well, and part of it's really, my characters are extremely leveled right now, so things don't tend to last very long. Alright, so what do we got going there? Guess it's just saving. Not too bad of a plan. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Yeah, I don't know. Looking at the map to see if I missed something. Oh yeah, I think I kind of got confused here because I think I walked away from the Xbox for a little bit there. I actually took a little cut and forgot if I had you know, obtained a treasure or not. So I'm not sure if I end up backtracking here. I might have. Maybe not. Looks like not. It's looking like not.
These things are alive.
What's the Sanctum up to? Are they planning to start a war?
All right, so here we've got these are a couple of those enemies that I mentioned that there's a chance that you won't complete your data log if you if you kill them too quickly. And actually, it's mostly because as you can see here, I end up getting a preemptive strike. And if you get these guys launched up into the air right away, they won't be able to summon they've got like a blade. I think it's called the Centurion blade. And you actually need that if you want a complete data log. So, you know, again, you really got to kind of be careful here if that's what you're going for. Yeah, because here I kept him staggered and launched the entire time, so he wasn't even able to summon that. So, you know, again, if that's something that you're, you know, kind of going out of your way to do, you're going to need to kind of ease up, I suppose, right away. And here, I think you gotta kill this guy. Kill the second one in order to open up this treasure sphere, which is okay. I'm planning on doing that anyway. But here you go. So he's going to use his Forge Blade ability right away. So you kind of gotta ease up. Well, I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. And so if you haven't got a preemptive strike, the chances that you're able to take him down before he's able to summon are pretty much slim to none. But all right, so here it is. It's on the field now, and that's the Centurion blade. Now, really, anytime you run into this enemy type, you kind of want to do this. I think this is this the second time we've run into an enemy like this? I'm pretty sure. So I'm pretty sure the Berserker isn't actually the first one. And, okay, yeah. I actually just retried because I wanted to get 2 Libras off on that Centurion blade before I take it down. So that was why I did that. Now, I'm not sure, though, if this is the last spot. I think there's actually another Berserker farther on in, so I didn't really need to do that right here. You know, I could have just waited until we run into the next one, but I figured I'd get it all taken care of now because, to be honest, it's been a while since I played, and I wasn't sure where all of the Berserker enemies were at. So, you know, again, I figured I'd just take care of it right now. And was that 2 Libras I got on him that time? Sure. Yeah, because I get all the. If there's any question, if you just look at the enemy info just by pressing the right bumper while I'm playing, so I'm playing the Xbox if it wasn't already obvious, so I'm not sure what it ends up being. It very well could be the same button on the PS3, but anyways, so just look into your enemy intel there, and if it's got all the information filled in, then you're good to go. Otherwise, if there's question marks on anything, it's a good idea to just use another Libra, sorry. Alright, so let's check here. Pulse, Automata, Centurions. Oh, so this is the first. This actually is the first one. Okay. So my bad. I thought that we had run into other enemies like this before, but that's not the case. This is apparently the very first one. But I guess just keep in mind, though, that there are going to be other enemies very similar to this one, and they also have, missable Centurion blades. So I guess, again, just keep on the lookout for these. Alright, ride this elevator. Looks like we're going down. And so we got another save point here, which is usually, you know, not too bad of an idea to do that. Guess we'll stand around though for a little bit first. All right, let's keep moving on here. Definitely want to head to the right first after leaving the elevator. And there's a treasure sphere here. The imps. Now, here's another enemy that, actually, these guys summon another enemy, and that second enemy is missable because of the exact reason I brought up earlier. If you're too powerful, there's a good chance that you're going to be able to just crush these guys down, and, you know, they won't live long enough to summon that other enemy. So, again, now that's, you know, another one of those times where you kind of got to be careful if you're trying to get the full data log, not to just, you know, wreck everything in a second or two. But, yeah, alright, so. And this actually would have been a pretty good battle to learn kind of all those, like, hidden enemy, or get the hidden enemies in your data log. Obviously, there was a couple of phosphoric ooze there, so those would have merged into the alchemic ooze, and then the imps again would, you know, summon. And I forget the name of the enemy. Well, obviously, once I actually get him summoned in there, we'll get it down for you. But here I'm gonna make this. What was that paradigm? I forget the name of it now. The Ravager and then the Double Medic, and again the same reason as earlier. I was kind of just killing these enemies too quickly, and I wanted to get those imps to summon their buddy. And yeah, so hopefully we'll get that done, and maybe it'll end up being this battle.
Nothing I can't handle.
Although I keep getting preemptive, so that's not really the best thing if you're trying to get the enemies to live longer. But we'll see here. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it wasn't this battle. I'm not sure. Yeah, look at this. It's like wolves among sheep, just wrecking them. Snow's like running in there, and boom! Launch! Crazy. All right. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna hang out and try to get it to summon. There you go. So that's the skill. It's called Conjure, and that's when they're summoning their buddies. All right. So what's this guy? What was that guy called? Oh, Ahriman. Yeah, Ahriman. That's a pretty common name in the Final Fantasy series there. So that's the guy. Definitely, you know, I would say Libra. Use Libra twice just to make sure you get all the info. Otherwise, you know, you can always use a Libra scope, I suppose, too. I kind of forget about those because I don't really use my TP for a whole lot usually, so I end up always having TP to use on the Libra command, so I really don't worry about it too much. But anyways, Perpetual Magic, that's the name of it. And I think we're done here. So I should say I think we're done with the what should I call it? You know, the thing. Kind of obtaining those hidden. I suppose they kind of almost call them hidden enemies. I mean, they're not like, you know, hiding on you, but
This'll be interesting.
sometimes it's easy to just crush everything down before you get to see them. So, all right. Anyways, what do we have here? A Greater Behemoth. These guys aren't anything too fancy. I don't know if you really need to use Libra on them. There's a couple of them in this area, so I would sure suspect, unless you're, you know, really going out of your way to miss these guys, that you'd end up with their info anyway. Now, the crappy thing with these guys is these are the ones that kind of they start on all fours, and then if they stand up, or if they live long enough, they stand up and then they restore all their health. Now, you know, that's not the worst thing ever though, because their chain gauge doesn't reset when that happens. So, you know, usually it doesn't end up really being that big of a deal. But it can be. I guess it can be a little bit annoying. But all right, so what do we got here? Alicanto. I don't remember which one that is. Obviously, that's a weapon for hope, but I don't remember which or what it does. I tried in this playthrough actually to use some different items and weapons and stuff that I don't typically use in my playthroughs, and I feel like I found a couple that were pretty interesting. So once we actually get there, we'll try to point that kind of stuff out. There's just that's one of the cool things about this game, and you know, I typically now I always enjoy RPGs for their stories, but I also really like battle systems, and this one has obviously it's very different from a lot of the other Final Fantasies. Yeah, there's some similar elements, you know, same name of spells and whatnot, but I feel like you kind of just it's a little more active than you know, your typical, your characters get a turn and then the game kind of just freezes, you know, while you choose what commands and whatnot. So it kind of feels like it's got a neat flow to it. But anyways, yeah. So this one's got there's a lot of intricacies to the battle system that I really like. So it ended up being a really enjoyable game for me. Yeah, so I suppose like this time around, I feel like I kind of went out of my way to try some new things that I haven't really tried before, and you know, some of them worked out really well, some of them not, but it was fun to kind of learn some new stuff and try out some new things. But oh, that's right, and these guys use the, what is it, Painga, which I think is kind of a funny name, but. Anyways, it's gonna prevent your characters from using any physical abilities, so they'll be stuck using magic, which is okay. Especially with the Ravagers, you know, most of their abilities are magic based anyway. The only thing that's not for a Ravager would be the strike type abilities. But and then Snow has Ruin, so you know that's still fine. He'll still be able to use at least Ruin in his commando role. So, and yeah, this guy was just wrecking me. Unfortunately, with Painga, I would say, you know, number one is Snow does the majority of the damage. Well, I shouldn't say maybe not the majority. He does a lot of damage by himself, and that's just because he's using the commando role. But unfortunately, with Painga on him, he's not able to use his punches, and that's. He definitely gets more damage out of those than he does with his magic stats, or with his magic spells. But that being said, he does have that. I think it's the Feral Pride. I think that's the coat that I'm, or I think it's considered a coat, right? But that's what he's using right now, and the good thing about that is it does have a really good magic stat to go along with the physical stat. So it's not like. It's not like he's completely ineffective or something like that. But I think I do have a bunch of warrior. I think I got two warrior wristbands on him that, then wouldn't be doing much good. But all right, so the what's that? Alicanto. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's one of those goofy weapons that has the stagger lock ability on it, which. Stagger lock is kind of interesting. I would say that it's not that great on Ravagers. It's not. I wouldn't say it's really a beneficial ability. It's actually more of a hindrance than anything, Now, in some very specific instances, it's not the worst thing ever. I can think of like maybe 1 or 2 enemies that it's kind of nice to not stagger them or stagger an enemy, but it's really rare. So anyways, long story short, those weapons they're not the horrible or the worst things in the world, but they're also not all that great either. I think the stagger lock types have the what is it called, the Gestalt synthesized ability, and what that family does is if you only have, I think it's like, what is it, 2 of them equipped, it's anywhere between 2 and 3 of them equipped, you get an ability called instant stagger or random stagger. I think that's what it's called. I'm gonna make sure I get this name right. Okay, sorry. Random instant chain, and what that does is it fills up the chain gauge completely, but it's random. It's exactly what it says. So it's probably something like, I don't know if it's like 1% chance. So every time you strike the enemy, there's a chance that you'll fill up its chain gauge completely. Now that sounds really cool, but in practice it doesn't really end up working out that great a lot. You know, again, it's a really low chance, so you know, but it's a cool ability though too. Still, you know, I feel like it's, you know, it feels more useful on enemies that have extremely high stagger thresholds. Behemoths are a good example of that. But a lot of times it doesn't really end up paying off, it seems to me. You know, it's I guess for me it's just the whole randomness factor. I'm really not a big fan of that. Now that being said, though, I did have that on. I think I had that on Lightning for almost the whole game, just to kind of try it out and see how well it worked. But again, I wasn't all that impressed with it. So I guess, you know, just take that info as you wish. What do we have here? Either Sol. All right, nice. But yeah, so anyways, it's again, I don't know, I don't really like that ability, but anyways, back to stagger lock. The thing is, it's not the worst thing in the world, but generally the reason they put stagger lock on these items is because they've got really good base stats, so it's kind of like the payoff. But I guess we'll get into that a little more after this cutscene.
Rains?
What?
Oh, easy, guys. It's all right. Rains is a Sanctum officer. He's been helping us out.
Why are you here?
Rains! You traitor!
I put you on the path. That was my focus.
You're a l'Cie?
Since long before we met. I did my best to assist you, as bid by the Sanctum fal'Cie. Now do you understand? The fal'Cie have watched over you, guiding your every step. The luck that saved you time and again was a deliberate machination. Why, you may ask? The Primarch, or should I say, Bartandalus, is crafting you into the instruments of Cocoon's demise.
We've been played for fools.
A Cocoon fal'Cie? Why?
Why? To restore the Maker.
The Maker?
The entity responsible for creating both humans and fal'Cie. Long ago, the Maker departed this world, leaving the two races behind. In a sense, human and fal'Cie are brothers, orphaned by the same parent. As for the humans, they forgot the order imposed by the Maker. They began to war amongst themselves for the first time in history. The fal'Cie focused on recalling their lost deity, and returning the world to its former glory. This purpose lies at the heart of all their actions. Calling back the Maker requires a fitting sacrifice.
Yeah, we've heard. The destruction of Cocoon.
The lives of this world's entire populace in bloody tribute.
No. That's crazy talk.
I don't get it. Why do they need us? Couldn't the fal'Cie end Cocoon with just a thought?
Their existence is bound to the creation and maintenance of this floating shell. It is their very nature that holds them in check.
You mean Cocoon fal'Cie can't destroy Cocoon? They needed tools.
If we can stop this by doing nothing... we'll do nothing.
Noble, I expected as much.
You lied to us. What happened to your dream of rebuilding Cocoon for the people? Was it all a lie?
A shadow of a dream. From when I was human. It was change I craved. And once I'd built the influence to make things happen, there was change. I gained all the power I could hope for, but was a puppet with no will to wield it. It wasn't the fal'Cie who changed. It was me.
You were made a l'Cie?
A l'Cie, tied to an inescapable focus, a slave of destiny. I'd lost hope. I'd all but given up on dreams of freedom.
What are you saying?
I'm here of my own accord, not by fal'Cie order. Seeing you fight brought it all back. Brought back that future I once strove for. I, too, will challenge my fate.
What?
Easy, guys.
If I can defeat you here, the fal'Cie plan will fail.
Reigns!
I will use all my remaining power. I will set you free!
Alright, so anyways, back to the Staggerlock. So what it actually really means is that character that has that weapon is not able to actually break the stagger threshold. So what that means is, like, if the enemy staggers at 400%, they'll be stuck at 400%, unless one of your other characters lands a hit on them. So that being said, if you have one person with that stagger locked ability on, that's okay. It just means that if they're the ones to hit that threshold, that means that they are not going to be able to stagger it, and it'll just stay at, they'll stay just below that stagger point. But again, one other character, as long as they don't have a stagger lock item on, they will be able to stagger. So again, it's not the worst, ability in the world to have. Unfortunately, it is definitely a detriment for 99% of the battles in the game. But it's okay. You can kind of overcome it with your other characters. Now, that being said, I don't think I used a single one of them until the very, very end of the game, and I don't know. So I guess I end up just liking other weapons and their abilities more. So that's kind of why I tend to go with those. Anyways, all right. So let's get on to the Cid Reigns fight here. I used this combination of characters. I felt like I did okay. I'm not sure. I don't remember what my battle rating ended up being. But once again, the battle ratings for these boss fights, they really don't matter. There's not, you're not gonna get a rare item from them. You're always just gonna end up getting the same things anyway. But I like this combination of of characters because I ended up with, you know, having Saz here for haste. I really like that. Now, that being said, if you end up having problems with this fight, you may just want to, you know, bring Hope in. Number one, he's, you know, got the really good defensive buffs, and number two, he's really good to do it. There's a way, actually, and I messed this up, but what Sid ends up doing here, okay, what Sid ends up doing here is once you stagger him, he'll go into like this guard stance, and it really reduces your damage. But oh yeah, I did a fantastic job here. Yeah, that ended up really well. But apparently there's a way to launch him really quickly after you stagger him, but I don't know, I wasn't able to pull it off, so oh well.
Ironic, isn't it? The only thing I wanted was a moment of triumph. How it ends isn't important. Just do what you know is right. Trust yourselves.
What? Did he complete his focus?
I don't think so. All Raines did was try to save Cocoon in his own way. His own way.
What?
Hey!
Where are you?
Snow! I think Raines was searching for a way to make us understand. To understand the frustration of being a l'Cie bound to a focus, and maybe what it meant to be human.
Alright, so, Sid turned to Crystal there, it seemed anyway. But, alright, yeah, so anyways, that fight, wow, that ended up being way easier than I remembered, but, you know, again, if you feel like you're having problems, then, I would suggest maybe trying a different team. I really like having haste, though. That was extremely nice for that. And it didn't seem like he was doing a whole lot of damage to me, so it didn't really feel like it was an issue. Okay, so right now I actually want to bring this up. This is a tetratic crown. There you go. I think that's right. Tetratic crown is an amazing item. So number one, the item itself is pretty decent. It's gonna give you, let's see here. Oh, you know what? I'm in the middle of a fight, so I can't check. It's something like Protect, Shell, Veil. Oh, I think it's Protect, Shell, Veil, and Vigilance. Protect, Shell, Veil. Yeah, Vigilance. And that's gonna be if you fall into critical status. So that's okay. To be honest, I don't really use that all that much, that item itself. But what I end up doing here is upgrading it fully and then breaking it down. And the cool thing about that is you get... so number one, you can't upgrade that right now. I don't think we have the material that we need to actually upgrade that into the auto Tetra defense, which would be a fairly decent, you know, upgrade. But here... So I upgraded all the way and then break it down, and the best thing about this is you get these Hermes sandals. Now, the Hermes sandals obviously have critical haste on them, meaning if you fall into critical status, it gives you the haste buff. But the cool thing is, right now, we have access to the item that is going to let us upgrade that. So, what am I doing here? Oh, yeah. So that's another cool thing that you get right now is the collector catalogs are buyable, and I actually do end up buying a couple of those here, and I think maybe that'll be the next video where I pick one of those or two of those up and buy those. But anyway, so the Perovskite, I believe if I'm saying that right, that is the name of the upgrade item for the Hermes sandals, and that's going to turn them into the sprint shoes, which is going to just give you auto haste. There they are. And so that's going to do exactly what you think. It's going to cast haste on your character right at the start of battle. Those are absolutely fantastic. It's just like the other buff items in the game, like the ones that give you kind of like auto bravery or auto faith, in that you know, it just makes you it makes it easier to hit those target times, and actually just kind of speeds up battles, which I just love. So I'm going to swap out. It looked like I swapped out the auto faith. I don't know if that was that great. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough call. So we, you know, unfortunately now we're getting so many really good accessories here, and you can only equip so many, and that's kind of the crummy part. But I feel like, so she's got like an ATB rate, recharge rate of 15% now, and all kinds of good stuff that goes along with that. But anyways, I gotta cut this, so hope this guide was helpful. Hope you're liking these videos, and I guess just hope you join for more. All right, thanks for watching.